All right, in today's video, we're going to go into the best types of multifamily properties to invest in, and some of these insights I'm going to share with you, not very many people know about, so stay tuned until the very end. It's just simply outdated, and many of the times the owner just doesn't have the time or the cash to upgrade it to the current modern times that we're in. And some things that you can look for when you walk through the actual unit is the paint just whitewashed all the way throughout? Is the carpet brown, for instance? And if you go to the cabinetry, it's just, it looks like you're walking back in time. So if that's what it feels when you go into one of these units, that's a good indication it's actually outdated. However, if you walk in, there's vinyl plank flooring, there's two-tone paint scheme where there's gray on the base and then white on the trim. That's a good indication that they actually took the time to now update it, and it's likely that you're going to have to pay more of a premium or market price in order to acquire that. Likely that's not your forte, so you want to go for more of the ones that don't have those upgrades. And we've got the motivated owner, and there are different ways to identify this because not everyone is actually motivated to sell their property to where it makes sense. So there's common triggers that you want to listen for when you're in your interactions with them, such as maybe they just inherited the property, or they bought the property and it's just a nightmare to be able to manage, or they're looking to retire. So these are common things that you'll want to listen for. But if they say, well, everything's for sale for the right price, or give me an offer I can't refuse, then that is just not a buyer in that case, and you're not able to get it for the price that you actually need it for. And I'll give you a prime example. This was a non-unit that I ended up buying that the owner, they were an attorney in Indianapolis, and they wanted to go to Florida and retire and do some parasailing or whatever the case is, but they wanted to retire, so they actually already had moved out there, and they threw their son in the fire to manage the property. However, their son was full-time in the police department and just didn't have the time to upkeep the property and deal with a lot of the day-to-day. So guess what? Everything kept going back to the dad, and then I just happened to call at the right time, and it also comes down to timing too. So called at the right moment in time, and he said that yes, I would be open to selling the property. And then after further conversations, I identified, yes, this person is motivated, and then that's when we ended up taking it to the actual contract and then closing on it. So those are just some things you want to consider. There has to be some form of motivation on why they're selling the property. And the next is mismanagement, and ways to identify this, and I'm pretty sure I just stepped into some poop, is, let's say you do a Google review and there's tons Google search and there's tons of bad reviews on it. The next is if you ask the owner for their financials, and they have no clue how to even get that to you because they haven't been keeping track of the financials. And I'll just give you a prime example. One property that I ended up buying is that the owner, I'm pretty sure they watched HGTV and they decided that, oh, well, I want to go ahead and start doing this. And I remember walking into the property that the first floor and then the second floor, there were just materials everywhere. Everything was pretty much half or 1/3 of the way finished, and you could just tell that they were burnt out. And those are the best ones that it's more likely for you to get a steep discount. So that's all I have for you all. I appreciate you so much. If you just want more insights on growing your business, there's a link below for a strategy session where it's either speaking with myself or someone on the team. And until then, keep being awesome. I'll see you next time.